What is up, hackers? Welcome back to another episode of Hack Crypto, where we hack all of our crypto education. If you guys are new here, be sure to be subscribed with notifications on. And in this episode, I'm going to be going over the best 2 hardware wallets for beginners. Now, if you're brand new to the space, hardware wallets or cold storage is effectively a safe way of storing any sort of cryptocurrency, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana, Dogecoin, anything. It goes offline, off of the internet, so you can't really click on phishing links and things like that. And it's a very powerful and important way to store crypto and be completely sovereign effectively. This is what got me into crypto over 10 years ago, was the concept of kind of like being digital gold, is that you can hold on to it yourself, you hold the private keys yourself, and you're able to fully control and be responsible for your own wealth and your own decision making. So it's permissionless. And these 2 products that I'm going to talk about today have been around for a long time. They've been tried and true. There's been hacking attempts. There's been all sorts of things that have gone awry with these 2 sort of brands, but they have withstood the test of time and all the waves of hackers and crazy things that have gone on in the crypto space, the ups and the downs. So regardless, they have lasted. So therefore, they are my 2 favorites. Now, before I get into these 2 individual hardware products, I want to make sure to mention the links to both of these will be in the description below. It is important to go to their website directly. If you do not go to their website, if you go to the Amazon listing, make sure you go to the store that is verified under that brand. It's super crucial because there are a lot of really kind of sketchy people selling these products, and preloaded things like this, hardware wallets that are preloaded, are just sketchy. And it's really important to know that the private key is where the funds are. So if you hold the private key, which is usually a series of numbers and letters and words, in this case for these 2 hardware products, to make it easy, that is the money. So even if the hardware wallet crashes, it gets smashed in a bag, or you drop it off of your roof, and what matters is the private keys. So that is where you can unlock it. So the product I'm going to talk about first is, of course, Ledger. Now, the Ledger Nano X, specifically in Bitcoin Orange, is my favorite. This is hands down and away. I have had Ledgers for many, many years, and I want to tell you a quick story. So one time I went to check on Ledger, and the screens were burned out on my Ledgers. They were the original Nanos, and the screens were completely burned out. So a quick pang of panic, and quickly thinking and messaging my buddy Seth Estrada, talking about security and things like that, just reboosted the way that I think about security and the whole concept of the private keys. So even if the screen on these smash and the device itself smashes, if you purchase a new one, you could go to Best Buy and purchase one of these and make sure that it's sealed, vacuum tight sealed, make sure that it's completely sealed, that there's no sort of compromises in the device whatsoever. What you can do, of course, is you go purchase a new one from their website, from their verified store, from a retail storefront, making sure that it's sealed, is you can back it up. So no matter where you are in the world, as long as you have those letters, those numbers, those words for your seed phrases, you can back it up to a new device. That's right. So you plug it in and you can back it up and use those funds however you need to. It was quite terrifying, I will say, when that happened, but quickly going through, what I've learned over the past few years and understanding that the device isn't truly what matters. That is just the protocol, like the security that you have. What matters is the private keys, and understanding that is enough to really put yourself at ease. So it's stressful. A lot of people don't talk about the hardware stress, because if you are in a house fire, or there's anything that goes wrong with where you are holding your private keys, it is a stressful thing, because you're fully responsible. There's no suit or anybody that you can point to and say, hey, this is really your fault, give me my money back, kind of thing. It is fully up to you. And to each their own, with a lot of products out there like the Fidelities and the Geminis and the Coinbases and a lot of these custodians now that are truly bona fide, regulated, audited, and just very secure. There's an argument to be made about splitting it up now. A lot of people were just ride or die cold storage only back in the day, but that's changed. That narrative has changed a lot over the last few years, and as it should. The innovation and things change, they move faster, and that's how it goes. Famous saying, not your keys, not your coins. This is your best option here. Ledger Nano X, specifically in Bitcoin Orange. Couple stats here. This is the industry leading secure element chip. This is CCEAL5 plus certified. It supports Bluetooth for mobile. It supports 5,500 assets and Ledger Live with third-party apps. Ledger Live is a really cool app on your phone and on any device that you have. That's really slick, really easy to use. It's rechargeable battery for offline signing anywhere. It's durable, it's metal, and it's good for Bitcoiners because it's Bitcoin Orange. And this one specifically is their newer one that I really like because it just is much more sturdy than the original screens. Specifically, I'm emphasizing the screen because that was terrifying. Now, cons, the negatives. So this is closed source firmware and the code's not fully auditable. This is a controversial topic. A lot of people in the comments will be talking about, it doesn't really matter, but ultimately in an open source community like the crypto space, closed source isn't necessarily always the best thing, but these guys have proven themselves. Over the years, Ledger has done a great job. So the Ledger recovery controversy, I can't not bring that up. There was a bunch of talk on X and people really saying all these things about them being able to effectively pull your funds out and all that. And there's a controversy around it. It's just not true. It's FUD. There's a lot of FUD out there, a lot of misinformation out there. And ultimately go to their website, research it, do your own research. And it is truly a closed, secure system. It is very, very secure and safe. Every person that I know trusts it, and it is a higher price point. That's the last and third con that I have. It is a little bit more expensive. It's over $100, and it is worth it, in my opinion, for the security and the ease of use. But this is number one. If you're buying anything for friends that are in crypto, if you're buying gifts or birthday presents, things like that, as long as it's sealed and you have a Bitcoiner in your family, get the BTC Orange one and show it off to them, and they're going to enjoy it. So those are the pros and cons of the best hardware wallet number one. Number two, Trezor. I couldn't make a video without talking about Trezor. Now, Trezor is an OG as well. This is the Model T. This was one of their originals, and I have had this for a very, very long time. These wallets are pretty sturdy. They hold a lot of different assets, and I'm going to go through the quick pros and cons here. This is 100% open source. That is my first pro. Trezor is open source firmware and software. It's fully transparent. A lot of people really flock to Trezor because of that, because it kind of aligns with the space. Ledger is closed source, and that's okay with me. I know a lot of people just go to Trezor, and the Trezor Safe 3 is super advanced and interesting. I like a lot of the things that they're doing, a lot of the features, but it's great for beginners, simple UI, very easy to use. It's strong security model without relying on any secure elements. What I mentioned before, the secure element chip that Ledger used is important, but the Trezor is not relying on a secure element there. It's a built-in passphrase entry on the device for added protection. So there is a passphrase. The Ledger has a PIN, so it's a little bit different terminology there. And this supports all the major cryptocurrencies. It's extensive multi-sig setups with Sparrow and Electrum. So it has multi-sig, so multiple signatures can be required to send a transaction on it, which for a company, for example, is good. For family, it's a good method there. And I think that it's really important to have multi-sig in many situations. For hardware wallets, not that big of a fan of multi-sig, just because it is, you could have multiple devices, you could have multiple people sort of have the seed phrase there, but ultimately it's an added feature. I like the multi-sig setups with Sparrow and Electrum. Now, the three cons. I gave the cons of Ledger. I'll give some cons of Trezor. There is no secure element chip. Like I was talking about before with the Ledger, it is CCEAL5 plus certified, and there is no secure element chip. So some users prefer that extra layer with the Ledger, and I think that it is, a sticking point for a lot of people in the crypto community. But that open source firmware plus software really opens a lot of people up to the Trezor. Now, there is no Bluetooth currently. I don't believe it is desktop or wired connection only. And the Bluetooth piece for Ledger is a winning point, but the Trezor Model T specifically, I know is only cord. So you have to have that wired connection. Now, the Model T can be pricey for what it offers, and it is kind of like that first run through I've enjoyed it. I like the idea of, all the different authentication that they have, all the different cryptocurrencies they have. I like that it's not just Ledger in the market. It's important to have some competition, gifts, both for Christmas, holidays, birthdays, everything. I think it's fun. And ultimately, if somebody's just getting into the crypto space, you can kind of walk them through it real quick. So the two favorites for me, I prefer these all day, every day over any other products on the market, but there are a bunch out there. I have tested out a bunch of different ones. These are my two tops. Highly recommend checking them out. As I said before, the links will be in the description below. I wanted to do this review during the holidays. If you're interested and you know a Bitcoiner in the family, and I also just wanted to talk about them in general because it's a good time to do an update video on these. I've done just dozens of videos of hardware wallets over the past 10 years, but these are my two ride or dies for hardware and cold storage. So that is it for this episode. I hope you guys like it. If you did, leave a comment, like this video, it gets it out to more people, and I will see you here on the next episode of Hack Crypto.